Hey, today I'm talking about three 1990s Jane Austen adaptations personally recommended to me by my very lovely friend Nicole. And the names of these three movies are Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, and Emma. First up is Sense and Sensibility. This is a 1995 film written and starring Emma Thompson, who is just a delight in this. It also features Kate Winslet, the always impeccable Alan Rickman, Hugh Grant, who is super adorable, and then a really fun, surprising appearance by Hugh Laurie. That was great. I enjoyed that a lot. And this movie was terrific. I enjoyed it a lot. The basic premise is kind of the same as all of Jane Austen's stories. It's a love story and then shenanigans and whatnot. And it all takes place in high society. And it's cute. It's fun. I will say I didn't have the best viewing experience though, because whilst watching the movie on Labor Days, I figured I'd be like uninterrupted. I was wrong. I got interrupted by a plumber showing up and then some family stuff that happened. And then I had to take a long break in the middle of it for reasons. And I was just like, it killed the momentum. But to this movie's testament, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, it's got such great acting and cinematography, and it just looks great. Like, everything about it works. It was a really fun, cute story. I definitely can't wait to watch this movie again one day. If I was gonna complain about anything, it would be ages. Emma Thompson's character, she's like 35 and she's supposed to be like 19. Yeah, it's whatever. I will say though, Alan Rickman is like 50 in this, and his love interest is Kate Winslet, who was 20 in this. And technically those two characters do have a large age gap, but that was just 16 years. So that was just a lot. He's really cute though, so it's, I don't know. But those are easy to overlook because the movie's charm and charisma just overpowered all of the negatives. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this movie. Totally recommend it if you want a good, fun, cute time. Next up is Persuasion. This also is a 1995 film, and it's technically a made-for-TV movie that did later go on to get theatrical release. And it's pretty solid. The premise is the same. Hoity-toity British people and their love troubles, but this one's all about persuasion instead of sense. And it's cute. What this movie does really, really well is the love stuff. All of the cutesy things. Like, there was a lot of it at the end, and that's what actually bumped it up into the quite like section for me. And really just like any time with like the relationship dynamic stuff was a lot of fun. It did take a while to get into it. Like the first, 15 minutes was just kind of like setting up a lot of characters and a lot of the side characters. And I didn't really care about them, especially because like they're not the best people. And I just wanted to like hurry up and get to the romancy stuff. And then we got there and it was good and I enjoyed it. I'll also say this one is like super, super British. Like I've watched lots of British things and like, there's kind of varying degrees of Britishness of them, if that makes sense. And this one's hardcore, definitely British. I do also want to give this movie credit though for its cinematography, because it was legit. Like they were doing some really fancy dolly moves, maybe some crane stuff too. It was impressive. It felt very cinematic and like just some complex shots. Like props to the production team because they did a good job. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one. I would probably recommend it if you're in the mood for like very British romance, because it is cute and it is good. It's just, very British. And lastly is Emma. This is a 1996 film starring Gwyneth Paltrow, and I did not care for it, mostly because of Gwyneth Paltrow. I could not believe her as Emma. I could not get over the giant hurdle that is her as a person. Because, she's a snake oil salesman, but back then she was just the daughter of an incredibly rich man who wanted to be an actor. So, baby girl gets what she wants. This movie feels just like it. It just feels like rich girl playing pretend. Doesn't feel like an actual actor doing stuff. I did enjoy seeing young Toni Collette. She was super adorable, and I really wanted to care for her character, but unfortunately anytime she was on screen, Gwyneth Paltrow was right there too, just being awful. And what doesn't help is I have seen the newer Emma, so I do know the story. And Emma's not the best person. She is very manipulative, and like she's doing it for, you know, their betterment, but she's also doing it for her entertainment. And that's a very fine line to walk. And Gwyneth Paltrow is just, you know, a terrible person. So yeah. Also, this movie looked less cinematic than the actual made-for-TV movie. Like everything looked super, super cheap. The camera just sat there like this, just not doing anything. There was sometimes like maybe like a little push-up, but like it really wasn't anything to write home about. I kind of think this movie was just made because like the other two movies we talked about that came out the year before did really well financially. So the Weinsteins were like, hey, let's get in on that action and rush this into production. And then Gwyneth Paltrow heard about it and was like, hey, here's lots of money, make me the lead. And they're like, all right, and that's how it happened. Obviously, I don't know, but that's what it felt like to me. I couldn't stand this movie. I couldn't finish it. I don't recommend it. Fuck Gwyneth Paltrow. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Sense and Sensibility sitting at number 53 in the really like section. And then after that is Persuasion sitting at number 106 in the quite like section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is Emma sitting at 197 in the didn't like category. And this is out of a total of 201 old movies so far this year.